What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today, Bitcoin is setting just below $63,000. We have the SPY making new all-time highs last week, and the Qs break through the daily downtrend that we had seen, gapping up to 482 this morning. And we also have Tesla getting the gap fill that we called here at 246 and hitting our first take profit zone. So today I want to discuss what that means for the markets. Plus, I have a long-term investment or potential trade, if you will, over the next few years that you may want to see. And we have altcoins finally breaking bull on the weekly. So we're going to get into that. It looks like altcoin season has officially begun. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. All right, guys, let's get into it. So last week we had the Fed rate cut of 50 basis points. And so what does that mean for the markets? Well, there was some fear that once we got a rate cut that we would see a recession, and typically a lot of times you don't see that recession until at least 6 to 12 or possibly 18 months later. Really, I think what we are seeing is the economy has been coming out of recession, even though the stock market has been going higher, mainly led by the Magnificent Seven over the past couple of years, but we're starting to see rotation into other markets, and the rate cuts is probably good for people out there, especially people who are looking to refinance their mortgage or buy a house or buy used cars. Or new cars, even because the interest that they pay on that loan will be lower, which means that they will have additional money to spend. So that could help stimulate the economy a little bit. But I wanted to get into an article I saw over the weekend. I thought this is a great potential long-term investment opportunity for those of you out there looking for something like that, and that is that 3 Mile Island nuclear plant will reopen to power Microsoft data centers. So Microsoft apparently purchased 3 Mile Island, or made an investment to restart that nuclear plant, and we know that um, energy is going to probably continue to increase in demand due to all these data centers and AI. Um, that is looking like it's going to be a big trend over the next several years into uh, 2030. So that sent this stock, CEG, or Celestia, I believe is the name of the company, ripping almost 30% here in the last couple days, gapping up and currently sitting at 262. Um, would I buy this stock here? No. Um, but this is a clear break of the high. Uh, and so maybe this does come back down to retest this area before moving higher. But that's quite a big move. I would be looking for some sort of pullback if you're trying to get into something like this. But what I did want to mention as a longer term investment is uranium. Um, Uranium has been increasing over the past several years, and some of that is due to the potential for conflict, but also the need for power. And so this is the weekly chart on the uranium miners ETF URNM. And so you can see here from back in the lows during COVID in 2020. We have a clear uptrend, making our fourth higher low here on the weekly chart. And one thing I did want to mention here, first off, is if we take a look at this run that happened here in the last bull market cycle from 2020 into 2021, and we take a measurement of that, and then we uh, put that where we then break out, or well, we could even just take it here for a more conservative estimate. Uh, but either way, that puts the price of this much higher over the coming months, weeks, months, and years. And so we do have a target on this around $72. Um, this did break out here, but that failed to hold. And I did want to zoom in here just a little bit to give you a better idea of what we're looking at right now. So here on it was on the daily chart. Of course, this is the weekly. Um, we broke this downward sloping trend and mentioned if we did break out of that, that we did think this ETF would do much better. And it does look like this wants to go back up and retest that previous line of support. It was resistance turned into support, but that support failed. So um, we could go back up to retest that area. And if we break through, well, I think uranium is going to do much better. Or this particular ETF, it does look like there's going to be an increase in demand. Another stock I wanted to point out is Riot, which is a Bitcoin miner, but they are also technically, I guess, a data center. Excuse me one second, guys. Riot sitting at 725, and this is the weekly chart, and you can see we are in an uptrend, and we just retested that weekly trend for the third time. We also have this downward sloping trend that whenever we saw that flash crash there a few weeks ago in the markets, that acted as support as well as the 786 off this last move. So I think this is a great spot entry for anyone who wants to get in on Riot over, say, the next 6 to 12 months. I do think Riot goes much higher. I do think we go back up to this 16, 17, $18 range at some point here, probably in the next 6 to 12 months. But it does look like this is a great spot entry, and this is similar to what we see on a lot of the altcoins. So this is a good way to gain more returns. Excuse me, guys. Still trying to get over this seasonal cold or allergies or whatever is going on here. But nevertheless, this is a way to get those returns similar to altcoins potentially. So Riot Platforms is one way to do that. Another way to potentially do that is to buy a stock such as Coinbase. Coinbase sitting at basically $170, and we are here in the zone that we thought would act as support for Coinbase. Of course, we did fall through it, but we have started to see some strength come through here in the past couple of weeks. We did think that this looked like it was going to be the bottom for a lot of these stocks and altcoins due to the stochastic RSI being at the bottom side on the weekly, and we just ticked through that basically last week here. And really, it started to look like these altcoins are starting to gain strength. If you're interested in buying stocks, commodities, or crypto, you can do so with Robinhood. Robinhood offers a 1% boost plus 8 times the national savings rate. Um, and they allow you to begin investing and building your portfolio with just as little as $1. They allow you to invest in stocks, options, ETFs, and trade commission free. They also offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, as well as gold. So if you're interested, there is a link down in the description below. Yes, it is an affiliate link, and whenever you use that link, you will receive an additional fractional share of one stock when you sign up with Robinhood. All right, guys, let's get back into Bitcoin and crypto. We'll start out here with Bitcoin first, sitting at $62,935. And we spiked up to 64, just over 64,000 yesterday evening. We did mention that this box here probably would act as resistance if we did get back above 60,000. We are seeing just a little bit of resistance currently, but this is definitely looking bullish here the last couple of weeks for Bitcoin. Ever since we made that higher low, I think that was critical. I do think that was our signal that the Bitcoin and crypto rally was probably going to kick off. I don't think we're going to go back below $60,000. However, there is always that chance, and there is the possibility that we could still wick down here and potentially put in another higher low. But this is the real first trend change that we have seen for Bitcoin here a couple weeks ago. When we did get that higher low, we are looking to make a higher high now. Um, and I think our next key resistance is going to be that $65,000. However, once we break through that, I do think we are going to go up and retest those all-time highs around $68,000 to $70,000, and then onwards and upwards. And if we can get above that, then I think we are going much higher. I do think Bitcoin is probably much higher by the end of the year, and I do think you could see an $80,000 or $90,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. We know that Q4 is very strong for Bitcoin and crypto. And we have this chart here on the total three. So this is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And right now, this is a weekly chart. We're talking about this potential here for this massive uh, flag pattern to play out. And it looks like we just broke this here on the weekly. So I do expect a lot of these altcoins to do very well in Q4 this year and potentially on into 2025. I do think that we probably do see some sort of market top possibly in 2025. So these are for me personally. I'm just looking to trade these, and that is uh, get some good spot entries and pretty much hold until the top or close to the top, and then take profits. That is my plan. I don't necessarily recommend any of these for the long term, although maybe you could hold a couple of them for the long term. But the first one I wanted to mention is ARVE or AVE, AAVE. I've mentioned this one here a few times, and this blew through our first take profit zone. It's currently sitting at uh, almost 173. Um, so yeah, that coin is looking really strong here in the past couple of weeks. We also have Ethereum waking up, sitting at 26.55 currently. We've been sitting here for the past few weeks around $23 to $2,400 on ETH. You can see here the RSIs are at the bottom side, so anytime we're down here, we know that typically that does mean um, this is going to go higher. It doesn't matter whether that's a stock or crypto. Um, so we do think that ETH is going much higher. And once we get back into this range here and reclaim around $2,900, then I think you will see Ethereum start to do very well. Another altcoin is AVAX. Again, we had a downward sloping trend here on the weekly. We mentioned once we broke out of that we did expect AVAX to take off and possibly retrace. It did that, and it is really just putting in now or has just put in a second higher low here in the past month or so, and looks like it wants to move higher. Excuse me, guys. This cough is uh, pretty harsh right now. But nevertheless, I did want to mention the crypto fear and greed is sitting at 50, which is neutral when just a couple weeks ago we were down in the 20s and we were talking about this. We were at fear levels here that we had not seen since back in 2022. So that's something to think about because when you see these types of fear in the markets, that's really when you want to be getting in. Um, and then you do want to be selling into that greed. So that is something to keep in mind. And Chainlink is also breaking out of its weekly trend here, just starting to pop out. So I do think that Chainlink is going much higher. We could come back down to retest this trend line potentially again and then take off. We got our first take profit zone around that $18 to $20 level. And then we do have areas much higher for Chainlink, but we'll discuss that when we get there. The way I kind of like to look at investing and trading in these altcoins is this is an investment for the intermediate term. So that means the next 6 to 12 months, possibly 18 months. Try to get these spot entries once we see this trend change where we do put in a higher low and potentially retest that trend line. So I think this is a great spot entry for Chainlink for traders. You know, the I think that you may want to take some profit here and look to reinvest that into other assets that maybe hasn't ran first. And one of those could be the meme coins. This is Dog with Hat, and this thing really took off earlier this year. Memes were big earlier this year. Will they return? Well, I think they will. But will they get the sort of returns that we saw earlier this year? I don't know about that. You can see this move here on WIF was over 1,300%, and this is a weekly chart. And so I do think once we break this downward sloping trend line, like we're seeing on a lot of these charts, that you're going to start to see a lot of these altcoins really rally. And if we just take a basically what we call a flagpole here from the bottom to the top and then put that at our breakout point, well, that gives us a target of around $6.50 or so for WIF. So that's a possibility. Of course, there'll be a lot of resistance along the way, especially this area. So you could look to take profit in that zone. If you are interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, uh, Chainlink, AVAX, Dog with Hat, you can't do so with iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital just added several new altcoins as well as meme coins to their platform. The upgrade was over the weekend. I did mention this in a video a few months ago when we got the notification that they were going to be available and they allow you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7, no low cost, no monthly fee account. Excuse me 1 second, guys. I am sorry. Yeah, it is Monday, and just kind of getting back on my feet. I was pretty much down and out for most of last week, so my apologies. But nevertheless, I Trust Capital is a tax advantage IRA, and they allow you to use or roll over all or a portion of your 401 or 401k or IRA into iTrust. And I use iTrust Capital. They have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews. And what I like about iTrust Capital is they actually have people you can call and talk to when setting up your account. Um, Anyone that's new to investing and or trading, whenever you do make gains on your investments, you will be taxed capital gains on those. And so by uh, investing in something such as an IRA, well, you can avoid those taxes until retirement. If you're interested, there is a link down below. All right, guys, I hope you all are doing well out there. Please don't forget to go follow me over on X or Twitter at Mind of Financier. I am Mind of the Financier on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, but I post anything over on X that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. And uh, feel free to drop a comment down below. Let me know if there's something that you want me to take a look at, or if you agree with my analysis or disagree. Let me know down below. I would like to try and improve this channel to help more people achieve financial freedom. So if that sounds good to you, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. All right, guys, until next time. Take care out there. Have a great day. Be legendary and peace out.